You know, in my business I see all sorts of things come through the door. Old swords, vintage guitars, you name it. But some of the most interesting items are the ones people carry around every day without a second thought. Coins. Norwegian commemorative coins are a perfect example. These aren't just pieces of metal for buying a soda. They are small circular pieces of history that tell a story about the country's culture, its heroes, and its biggest moments. Norges Bank, which is Norway's central bank, is the one that issues these coins. They work with the Royal Norwegian Mint to turn a national celebration into something you can hold in your hand. It's a fantastic way to honor the past. Now let's get one thing straight. There are two main types of these special coins, and you gotta know the difference. First, you have your collector coins, often called Jubilee coins. These are the high-end pieces, usually struck in gold or silver. They come in fancy boxes with certificates, and you're not going to use them to buy groceries. They are made specifically for collectors. Then you have the special circulation coins. These are the ones you might actually find in your change. They have a special design on one side to mark an event, but they have a normal face value, like 20 kroner, and you can spend them just like any other coin. It's a neat way for everyone to own a piece of history. People always ask me, Rick, what makes these coins so special? Well, think about it. A regular coin is just money. It's functional. But a commemorative coin is a piece of art. It's a celebration. When Norway wants to remember a significant anniversary, a royal jubilee, or honor a famous person like an artist or an explorer, they issue one of these coins. It connects the people to their national identity. The Royal Norwegian Mint, which is now part of the Mint of Finland, handles the technical side of things, the actual striking of the coins. They ensure every detail is perfect, from the sharpness of the king's portrait to the intricate design on the reverse. So, whether you're a serious collector looking for a rare silver-proof coin or just someone who stumbles upon a unique 20 kroner coin in your pocket, you're holding a story. These coins serve as a public gallery, showcasing Norwegian art and history to the world. They celebrate everything from the 100th anniversary of women's right to vote to the achievements of famous skiers. Each coin is a chapter in Norway's long and fascinating story, and that's what makes them more than just money. They are tangible links to the past, and for a history buff like me, that's where the real value is. You can't talk about Norwegian coins without talking about Kongsberg. Back in the day, Norway's money story really kicked off with the Kongsberg Silver Works, founded way back in 1623. This place was a big deal. It was the source of the silver that went into the country's currency for centuries. The Royal Norwegian Mint was established right there in Kongsberg in 1686, and that's where the magic happened. For hundreds of years, that mint was the heart of Norwegian currency production. It's a story of raw materials being pulled from the earth and turned into the very symbols of a nation's economy. That's some serious history. The idea of making a special coin just to celebrate something is a bit more modern. The first major Norwegian commemorative coin came out in 1914. This wasn't just any coin, it was a big, beautiful 2 kroner piece. And what was it celebrating? The 100th anniversary of the Norwegian Constitution. That's a huge event in any country's history. The coin was a massive success and showed that people loved having these tangible souvenirs of important national milestones. It set the stage for all the commemorative coins that would follow, creating a tradition that is still going strong over a century later. It was the coin that started it all. After that 1914 coin, Norway continued to issue commemorative pieces for special occasions. You'd see coins for royal anniversaries, national events, and important historical dates. These weren't just churned out every year, they were reserved for moments that truly mattered to the Norwegian people. For a long time, these were mostly silver coins, continuing the legacy of the Kongsberg mines. They were keepsakes, heirlooms passed down through families. You didn't spend them, you saved them. They represented a direct connection to the monarchy and the nation's journey, struck in precious metal from Norwegian soil. Today the process is a well-oiled machine. Norges Bank decides what events or themes are important enough for a coin. They are the guardians of the currency, so they make the big calls. Once a theme is chosen, they collaborate with the Mint of Finland, which now owns and operates the historic Royal Norwegian Mint. It's a modern partnership built on centuries of tradition. Even though the ownership has changed, the commitment to quality and artistry remains. They continue the legacy that started in a small mining town, ensuring that every new coin is worthy of the history it represents. It's a story of evolution from a single silver mine to an international collaboration. So, who decides what goes on these coins? It's not a simple process. Norges Bank is in charge. When a big anniversary comes up, they are the ones who decide to commemorate it with a coin. For the design, they often hold competitions, inviting several talented artists to submit their ideas. This ensures they get the best possible concept that captures the spirit of the event. The themes are always deeply rooted in Norwegian culture. We're talking about things like the 150th birthday of the famous painter Edvard Munch, the Sami people's national day, or celebrating polar explorers like Roald Amundsen. These are stories that define Norway. Let's talk about the artists, because these guys are the rock stars of the coin world. People like Ingrid Aslid Riise, a designer at the Royal Norwegian Mint for many years, have created some of the most iconic modern coin designs. Her work is incredible. Then you have artists like Enzo Finger, whose designs have a unique and powerful style. The value of a commemorative coin isn't just in its metal content, a lot of it comes from the artistry. A beautiful, well-composed design by a famous artist can make a coin highly sought after by collectors. It turns a piece of metal into a miniature sculpture. The materials and finishes are also key. The special circulation coins, the ones you can spend, are usually made of a nickel-brass alloy, just like a standard 20-kroner coin. But the collector coins are on another level. They are often struck in 925 sterling silver, or even 917 gold. And the finish is important. You might see a proof coin, which has a mirror-like background and a frosted design. It's stunning. This superior quality is what collectors pay extra for. The minting process is incredibly precise to achieve this effect, with each coin being struck multiple times to bring out every tiny detail. What makes one coin more valuable than another? A few things. First, mintage. How many were made? A coin with a low mintage is rarer and usually more valuable. The 1914 Constitution coin, for example, is a classic that every collector wants. More recent coins, like the 2011 silver coin for the University of Oslo's 200th anniversary, are also popular. Condition is everything. A coin in perfect uncirculated condition is worth way more than one that's been scratched up. And finally, there's demand. If a coin celebrates a really popular event or has a stunning design, more people will want it, and the price goes up. It's all about rarity, condition, and story. So, you want to start collecting Norwegian commemorative coins? Great, but don't just run out and buy the first shiny thing you see. My first tip for any new collector is simple. Start with what you can find. Check your change. You might get lucky and find a special 20-kroner circulation coin celebrating something cool. It's the most affordable way to begin, and it gets you into the habit of looking closely at money. Once you have one or two, you'll get the itch to find more. It's a low-risk way to see if this hobby is really for you before you start spending bigger money. When you're ready to buy, you need to know where to look. You can buy the newest coins directly from the mint or an official distributor. For older coins, you'll need to go to a reputable coin dealer, an online auction site, or a coin show. But be careful. Always buy from sellers with good reviews and a solid reputation. If a deal looks too good to be true, it probably is. I've seen a lot of fakes in my day. Do your homework on the seller. A good dealer will be happy to answer your questions and will stand by the authenticity of what they sell. Now let's talk about storage. This is so important. You find a beautiful silver coin, and the last thing you want to do is ruin it. Never, ever clean your coins. I mean it. You can wipe out most of their value by scrubbing off the natural patina. Store them in a dry, stable environment. Use holders, capsules, or albums specifically designed for coins. These will protect them from fingerprints, scratches, and the environment. Your fingers have oils that can damage a coin's surface over time, so handle them by the edges if you must touch them at all. Proper storage is what separates a serious collector from an amateur. Finally, knowledge is power. The best tool you can have is information. Before you buy, you need to know what you're looking at. Where can you find this info? Norges Bank has a section on its website dedicated to commemorative coins, which is a great place to start. There are also official catalogs and collector websites that provide complete lists of all Norwegian coins ever issued, along with details like mintage numbers and designers. Websites like the one for the Royal Norwegian Mint or even online collector forums can be treasure troves of information. The more you know, the smarter you'll collect, and the less likely you are to make a bad deal. Happy hunting!